So, hello guys, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. By the way, all the credits here for today's stream, let me just turn up the graphics. All the credits here on today's stream will go out to NASA, so yeah. But today we're gonna host this, pretty cool SpaceX Dragon cargo craft undocking from the International Space Station, so ISS. Yes, so the live coverage will begin in about a minute. So yeah, if you have any questions, make sure to write them in the chat. We'll answer them all. Otherwise, I will stay muted for the whole event, except there are some questions incoming. By the way, just that everybody knows, the live coverage should start right on, and the official time for undocking will be at 9:25 a.m. Eastern time, so in about 25 minutes from now on.
The SpaceX Dragon is ready to depart the station, having arrived on December 6, 2020, with over 6,500 pounds of cargo. Today, you're watching the first autonomous undocking of a cargo Dragon 2 vehicle. Upon Dragon's departure today, scheduled currently for 8:25 a.m. Central Time, it will depart with just over 4,500 pounds of critical science and other hardware, scheduled for a safe splashdown off the coast in the Atlantic. Final location is currently being evaluated by the SpaceX team. I'm NASA Shaniqua Vereen, and we're broadcasting live from the International Space Station Flight Control Room, where the Orbit 1 team is currently on console. They are being led by Flight Director Paul Kanya, and we'll hear Capcom, or the capsule communicator, Mike Jensen, relaying information to NASA astronauts aboard the station. NASA astronaut Victor Glover will be monitoring today's undocking.
So, by the way, while the commentator is not watching, welcome to everybody who just tuned in. Here in the background, we can also see Victor Glover. He's right now on board of the ISS, and yeah, he came up with the Crew 1 Dragon launch back in November of 2020.
With you on 2. Ike, at the moment, SpaceX is still assessing weather off of Florida. As such, we are delaying departure by 30 minutes, 30. So we will be calling you into that Dragon departure monitoring block in about 30 minutes.
Copy that. 30-minute delay.
Just for everybody again, real quick, I'm not going to talk at all this live stream. Just if anybody has a question, write it in the chat. Otherwise, undocking will happen at 9:25 Eastern time or 8:25 Central time. All times are AM.
You just heard Mike Jensen, the Capcom, communicate to the crew aboard that there's going to be a 30-minute delay of the departure today. SpaceX is continuing to evaluate weather off the coast of Florida in the Atlantic and looking to verify splashdown site. The time for departure is now 9 a.m. Eastern Time. 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Time.
So, that we heard it. Undocking.
You currently see views of the International Space Station Flight Control Room as well as SpaceX Mission Control in Hawthorne, California. The command to release Dragon will originate from the flight controllers here on the ground and in Hawthorne. Will be in joint operations until the spacecraft gets out of the keep out sphere, one of the milestones we'll look up towards today.
So, undocking is now scheduled 30 minutes later at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. It's now scheduled for 10 a.m. Eastern Time to everybody. Yeah, because it got delayed.
There are a couple milestones, as I mentioned, that we'll see Dragon meet this morning. First, those departure burns, but then it will cross the keep out sphere, an invisible line around the station with a 200-meter radius. It will keep heading away from the station and will stand by until it makes its way out of the approach ellipsoid. Another invisible line that's 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by 2 kilometers around the station. These invisible lines are where we have checkpoints for the vehicle on the way to and from the station. Once the command is sent,
general status with a 30-minute delay to departure. The no exercise band will move with it, and obviously we won't want to repack Node 2 Zenith until we know it's going away. Okay, we copy all. Thank you.
Houston on 2 for conference.
Go on to.
Yep, we hit another LOS. This one's a little bit longer, but we were basically done, so I'm going to call it done. And if you just let them know, I won't be there when the LOS comes back, or we get AOS again.
We copy. We'll let them know.
So yeah, I guess since the undocking is now delayed 30 minutes to 10 a.m. Eastern Time, I guess we just need to wait in that time. So if you have any questions about today's undocking or just general questions, make sure to write them in the chat. I try my best to answer them all. If you have any, then yeah, otherwise I will most likely stay muted, but I'm always here. Right now we.
If you're just joining us, I am Nasha Shaniqua-Vereen, and we're broadcasting live from the International Space Station Flight Control Room, where we're monitoring Dragon's undocking today. It will be the first autonomous undocking of a cargo Dragon vehicle, and we are currently standing by as we just had a delay in the timeline as far as departure for Dragon today. The latest that SpaceX can send a command for Dragon to depart will be 9:25 a.m. We are currently retargeted for a 9 a.m. Central Time departure, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, but we will continue to monitor the weather and splashdown sites as we move forward.
To everybody who just joined the stream, welcome here. Yeah,
Today, the command to release Dragon will originate from flight controllers here on the ground and in Hawthorne. The command can be sent from either the astronauts aboard the station or the ground team, and while the command won't come from the on-orbit crew today, NASA astronaut Victor Glover will be standing by and monitoring the spacecraft's departure. Currently targeted for 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah, what you just said, because to everybody again, the undocking got delayed 30 minutes. So it got pushed back by 30 minutes. So yeah, now we just need to wait a little bit longer than we actually expected, because
there are a couple milestones we'll see Dragon meet this morning. First, those departure burns, but then it will cross the keep out sphere, an invisible line around the station with a 200-meter radius. It will keep heading away from the station and will stand by until it makes its way out of the approach ellipsoid, another invisible line that's 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by 2 kilometers around the station. These invisible lines are where we have checkpoints for the vehicle on the way to and from the station. Once the command is sent, the hooks on the Dragon will be released and springs will push Dragon away from the station, and we'll have separation of the vehicle. The spacecraft will start to slowly drift away. Dragon has a few small departure burns to get it into the proper position away from the station, as it will have an eventual deorbit burn. That will slow Dragon down enough to drop it out of orbit and send it towards its landing zone, splashing down in the Atlantic.
So to everybody real quick who just joined, the undocking got delayed by 30 minutes. It got pushed back 30 minutes. Yeah, if you have any questions about today's undocking, feel free to write them in chat. I will answer them all. So yeah, just make sure if you have any questions, write them in chat. In the meantime, I guess we just need to wait a little bit. That's just how it is.
SpaceX's upgraded Cargo Dragon spacecraft launched to the International Space Station atop a Falcon 9 rocket from Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida Sunday, December 6, 2020, and docked at the station December 7th. This was the first launch for SpaceX under NASA's second commercial resupply service contract, CRS-21, delivering over 6,500 pounds of supplies, equipment, and materials to directly to support dozens or more than 250 science and research investigations that occurred and will occur aboard the orbiting laboratory during expeditions 64 and 65.
There we have a great view of the NASA CRS-21 Dragon cargo, which will
We
undock.
currently have a view of the Cargo Dragon attached to the Harmony module facing the space-facing port.
Full station on 2 for Veggie.
And we're with you on 2, Hopper.
Good morning. Is there anyone on the Veggie team that's around? I got a quick question on it.
Yep, they are listening. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't realize everything. But the quick question was regards to I know this is on our own, but does the plant thinning still apply to all of the plants in there as well? In other words, for the pak choi, wasabi, and kale?
We're checking. We'll have you an answer.
Okay, and you might let them know that in the J on 03 Juliet, that all of the plant pillows had 3 plants except for 6, which only had 2.
And we copy. Thank you.
You can also just let them know as well, 45 mils added to each of the pillows per the execution note.
We copy. Thanks, Hopper.
For those just tuning in, we are currently monitoring the undocking for the Cargo Dragon spacecraft. We currently have a 30-minute delay with a new undocking time for around 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. SpaceX and NASA are currently monitoring the weather in the splashdown zones before they decide officially we will be undocking today. The latest time to depart today for on-time splashdown will be 9:25 a.m.
Station Ground 2 for the no exercise constraint.
Go ahead.
Hey, wondering if I'm okay to start ARED and then if it needs to be with the viz pins locked out for during that no exercise constraint, which I understand is sliding 30 minutes to the right. And if you could, so just wondering if I'm going to start it, and then also if you could give me like a 5-minute heads up so that I can get it back into config before the no exercise constraint.
Checking. And we are
Just to everybody again, the undocking got delayed to 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Again, the launch at undocking
Huntsville on Space Ground 2 for Hopper and Veggie.
got delayed to 10 a.m. Eastern Time.
For Hopper on 2.
Hey, Hopper, we just needed to confirm, but O3I is independent, so that's at your discretion. If you think it needs thinning, your go. Otherwise, just monitor as normal.
Okay, copy. At our discretion. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Hopper.
and Station Houston on 2 for ARED. We are go for ARED. We'll give a heads up when it needs to discontinue.
Copy, thanks.
Right now we have a view on the Dragon cargo, which will hopefully undock today at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Because it got pushed back by 30 minutes. Normally it should have undocked in 1 minute.
SpaceX's upgraded Cargo Dragon spacecraft has launched to the International Space was launched to the International Space Station atop a Falcon 9 rocket from Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Lift This was the first launch of SpaceX under NASA's second commercial resupply contract, CRS-21, which delivered supplies, equipment, and materials to directly support dozens of the more than 250 science and research investigations that will occur during Expedition 64 and 65. This included the delivery of the NanoRex Bishop airlock, the first commercially owned and operated airlock that will provide a variety of capabilities to the space station, such as payload hosting, robotics testing, and satellite deployment. It also will serve as an outside toolbox for crew members conducting spacewalks. Dragon's arrival at the station marked the first time two Dragon spacecraft have been docked on the orbiting laboratory at the same time. The Crew Dragon spacecraft, named Resilience, that brought the Crew 1 astronauts, has been docked since its arrival on November 16th. The Cargo Dragon spacecraft will remain attached to the spacecraft. It remained on the space station since its arrival on December 7th. We're looking for a departure today around 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And that's with a 30-minute delay from its original undocking time. We are looking for the spacecraft to splash down in the Atlantic Ocean. And that's going to be around 11 hours and 38 minutes from its undocking time.
Undocking is scheduled in about 31 minutes. I guess we just need to wait now. Yeah, 31 minutes from now on, we will have the undocking. So let's just have some patience. And if you have any questions, feel free to write them in the chat. I will try my best to answer them all about today's undocking. Thank you. Undocking will start in about 30 minutes from now.
For those just tuning in, we are standing by for undocking of the Cargo Dragon. We currently are under a 30-minute delay and have retargeted 9 a.m. Central Time for physical separation of the Dragon vehicle from the space station. We are currently waiting and listening in on a weather update from SpaceX and NASA for a go no go for departure today. The latest window for departure will be 9:25 a.m., but we are currently targeting 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Time for an undocking and separation of the vehicle from the space station. We will continue to watch the weather and the splashdown sites off the coast of the Atlantic and of Florida.
So that means there could also be the possibility that it get scrubbed today, the undocking, but I hope that it won't get scrubbed today. I doubt it though, but we need to wait for an update on SpaceX and NASA about this. And yeah, we need to look at the weather because the weather needs to be decent or maybe even good for splashdown about 11 hours later in the Atlantic Ocean.
You currently are seeing live views of the Cargo Dragon vehicle attached to the Harmony module on the space-facing side of the port. Again, this is the second cargo vehicle, the second Dragon vehicle that is attached to the space station. This is a first for SpaceX. Crew Dragon launched in November with the Crew 1 astronauts aboard. The Cargo Dragon spacecraft brought up around 5,200 pounds of research and returned cargo splashing. We are looking for the spacecraft to return 5,200 pounds of cargo and research, and it will be a first as well as we will receive science investigations at the Kennedy Space Center. It'll be the first since the shuttle program. The station and Dragon are currently flying over the South Pacific Ocean, about 264 statute miles above.
to everybody. The launch is, got delayed, 10 a.m. Eastern time. I can also make a countdown, but that's just if you want to, of course. So who wants a countdown for the undocking of today? It can also be that it
There
gets
are
scrapped.
currently 7 crew members aboard the station. From the left is NASA astronaut Kate Rubins, Victor Glover, Shannon Walker, JAXA astronaut Soichi Noguchi, along with, Victor Glover, Shannon Walker, JAXA astronaut Soichi Noguchi, Sergei Ryzhikov, and Sergei Kutsverkov all make up Expedition 64. Again, we are standing by for Dragon's departure or undocking, currently scheduled for 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. This all will be dependent on weather, and we are still evaluating. The last time to call for departure today will be 9:25 a.m.
Station Houston on 2 for Ike.
With you on 2.
Ike, we have gotten happy with the weather off Florida, and with that, in preparation for undock, I'd like you to perform step 1 of 1.602, Dragon departure monitoring.
1.602, step 1, in work.
Undock sequence start time 1455.
Sequence start time 1455, copy.
Good copy.
Houston Station, I'll just stand down on ARED until we're past the no exercise time.
Copy.
Houston, Dragon undocking departure review complete. ISS crew is ready for departure.
Copy. ISS crew ready for departure.
To everybody just tuning in, the launch got delayed to 10 a.m. Eastern Time.
And that was confirmation from the Capcom to the crew that we are currently go for departure today. And we're looking for commands to be sent for departure and undocking to be 8:55 a.m. and physical separation from the vehicle from the ISS will be 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Time.
Undocking should start in about 20 minutes. There we can see the CRS-21 Dragon cargo, which should undock today in about 19 minutes from now.
We're currently in a brief handover between satellites right now, but we'll be regaining communications here shortly. You are currently seeing a live view of the International Space Station Flight Control Room.
So we have a go for undocking at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So now it's official. 10 a.m. Eastern Time will be the time where the Dragon CRS-21 cargo will undock from the ISS, or International Space Station. So that will be in about 14 minutes from now. No, 16 minutes, sorry. Right now we can see a live view of the SpaceX mission control room. Right now we can see a live view of the CRS-21 Dragon cargo, which will undock at 10 a.m. Eastern Time today. So that's in about 14 minutes from now. 15 minutes, yeah.
If you're just joining us, we are standing by for undocking of the or departure of the SpaceX Dragon cargo vehicle, having arrived on December 7, 2020, with over 6,500 pounds of cargo. Today, you're watching the first autonomous undocking of a cargo Dragon 2 vehicle upon Dragon's departure today, currently scheduled for around 9 a.m. Central Time. It will depart with just over 4,500 pounds of critical science and other hardware, scheduled for a safe splashdown off the coast of Florida in the Atlantic. And we're looking for splashdown around 8:08 p.m. Central Time, 9:08 p.m. Eastern Time. Today, the command to release Dragon will originate from the flight controllers here on the ground and in Hawthorne. That command will be sent from, I'm sorry, that command will be sent from it could be sent from either astronauts aboard the station or the ground team. And while the command won't come from the on-orbit crew today, NASA astronaut Victor Glover will be standing by in the cupola module and monitoring the spacecraft's departure. There are a couple milestones we'll see Dragon meet this morning. First, those departure burns, but then it will cross the keep out sphere, an invisible line around the station with a 200-meter radius. It will keep heading away from the station and will stand by until it makes its way out of the approach ellipsoid, another invisible line that's 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by 2 kilometers around the station. These invisible lines are where we have checkpoints for the vehicle on its way to and from the station. Once the command is set, there will be 2 sets of hooks from the International Space Station and Dragon that will be released, and springs from the Crew Dragon will push the vehicle away from the International Space Station.
Station Houston on 2 for Soichi. Question if you wanted to delay the start of your upcoming PMC.
So now we just need to wait for around 12 more minutes till departure.
After separation, the spacecraft will start to slowly drift away from the space station. Dragon has a few small departure burns to get it into the proper position away from the station for its eventual deorbit burn, currently scheduled for 7:18 p.m. Central Time. That will slow Dragon down enough to drop it out of orbit and send it towards its landing zone, splashing down in the Atlantic approximately around 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time.
Station Houston on 2 with Dragon undock pending. We are entering no exercise period.
Undocking will start in about 10 minutes. 9 more minutes. In the meantime, if you have any questions, make sure to write them in the chat about today's undocking. I will try my best to answer them as good as I can. Thank you. Around 8 more minutes to go till departure.
Station Houston on 2 for Dragon departure. We are no-go for today due to weather.
Okay, you heard it first. Yeah, no go today. So it will get scrubbed. CRS-21 Dragon cargo undocking or departure is probably scrubbed for today because of weather at the landing in the Atlantic Ocean. In about 11 hours from now, the weather would be too bad. But we will still need an official tweet from NASA to confirm that. To everybody just tuning in, the undocking got delayed to 10 a.m. Eastern time, but it will probably get scrubbed for today due to bad weather. I know in space there is no bad weather, but for bad weather at the splashdown, so in the Atlantic Ocean, but we're still waiting for an official confirmation of NASA.
As you just heard, we are waving off today due to poor weather off the coast of Daytona. SpaceX and NASA will be evaluating what would be a better time to have undocking for the spacecraft. Please watch nasa.gov for updated timelines for when Cargo Dragon will be departing.
So there we got it. An official call out that today probably we won't see a departure of the CRS-21 cargo.
That'll wrap up our coverage for the undocking of Dragon today. And please watch nasa.gov for updated timelines of when Dragon will be go for undocking. This is Mission Control Houston.
So, yeah, that would wrap up today's coverage of the scrubbed undocking of the CRS-21 Dragon cargo. I will keep you guys updated to every future date. I will of course stream them, so just make sure to have notifications on the channel as soon as there will be an updated date of the departure. I will of course turn on the stream also on that date, so just keep an eye out for future updates or just any future dates when we will most likely be seeing the departure. I don't exactly know when they want to delay to, but we will see of course in the future. So tomorrow we will most likely also see the SN9 launch, so keep an eye out for that as well. And yeah, thanks for tuning in to everybody today. And that will wrap up also my stream for today. Thanks for tuning in again to everybody. I hope you still liked it, even though it unfortunately got scrubbed. What do you want to do against that? I know it sucks, but whatever. Thanks to everybody being here, and we will see us hopefully soon again for the departure. I hope it won't get delayed for too long, and I hope we will see it pretty soon. To everybody who just tuned in, the departure got scrubbed for today due to bad weather at Splashdown. The Splashdown would have been in around 11 hours after undocking or departure of the CRS-21 Dragon cargo spacecraft. Yeah, the Resilience one. So yeah, that will wrap up the coverage of today. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see us hopefully soon again. Goodbye.